Everyone, welcome to our live stream. Dr. Selfridge back again. As always, well, first of all, let me know if I sound okay, if you can hear me. Hopefully the sound is good. Turn this down, okay. So my name is Dr. Selfridge. Welcome everyone. If you are someone who's been with us for a while, or maybe you're somebody new watching, welcome to our show. What we do at the live stream is just kind of answer questions, talk about music. If you have any questions about playing your instrument, or if you want me to show you a song, I'd love to have requests to teach you songs, or answer music theory questions about instruments, and just talk about music stuff. So welcome everyone. It is, what is today? It is Sunday, February 18th. It's a nice 3-day weekend for me. Tomorrow is a holiday, President's Day in the United States. So we have the day off tomorrow. I have the day off from school, which is cool. Beautiful weather. It's a little chilly, a little cold. And we had some snow actually on Saturday, but very light snow, which was nice. So I'll tell you what's been going on with me. We were off last week. A lot has happened. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I believe it was the Friday before the Super Bowl. Last week was the Super Bowl. By the way, yeah, if you guys could give me a thumbs up if the sound is okay, or if my microphone needs to be louder or something. So the Friday before the Super Bowl, I did a guest conducting event. So it was really cool. It's something I really love to do. I don't get to do that often. I would love to do more. But they had an honors band festival for 5th and 6th graders at a school district, at a school not far from me. And so what they typically do is they'll bring in these students who are advanced students. I'm looking up my Instagram post so I can show you the picture. So typically what happens is you have a bunch of really high-level students, honors students who have been nominated by their teacher. So it's a really good group of kids, and then they bring in some sort of guest music teacher to be their director for the day. So it's kind of a special event because the students don't know me and I don't know them. So it's kind of a special event. We had a great day of rehearsing. We had a fun concert. The students were really great, a lot of fun to work with. The concert went really well. Let me show you the picture. I have to find it here. If you follow me on Instagram, Dr. Selfridge Music, at Dr. Selfridge. Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to show you is, let's see. There we go. Those are some of my students there from my guest conducting thing. There's some more students backstage. That's Mr. Reynolds, one of the directors. And that's a little photo from backstage just as we were getting started. There's a picture of me conducting the rehearsal. It was really fun music. The concert went really great. You know, with days like that, sometimes it can be a little bit stressful trying to put together a whole concert in one day, but all the students came very prepared. They knew their music, and it was a great concert. So then the other thing that I was up to By the way, while I'm talking and telling you about what I've been up to, please put your comments and your questions in the chat. I can answer questions. That's what I love to do here. So ask me your questions in the chat, and I usually get to every single question. I don't get to every single request most of the time, but I do almost always get to every single question. So the other thing that I did, which was really cool, was this past week, so it's a little bit of a long story, but I'll try to make it a short story. This goes all the way back to before the shutdown, the pandemic. A good friend of mine is choir director at a local high school, and he's really great at what he does, and he likes to put together these big events, special events with guest composers who come in, and his choirs perform the music of these composers, and sometimes he'll even do something called commissioning a composer to write a piece, compose a piece, especially for the students. So anyway, long story short, they had this whole special event scheduled with this really amazing composer from the UK named Will Todd. It got shut down by the pandemic, and they rescheduled it. So anyway, long story short, again, they rescheduled it for this past week, and I'll show you some pictures. I got to play soprano sax on a premiere of a new piece that this is the composer right here. That's Will Todd at the piano. He was super nice, very, very friendly person, very easy to work with, made you feel very comfortable and at ease during the rehearsal. So that was me playing a soprano sax solo on one piece. And then that's a picture of me and our guest, Will Todd, and that's Mr. Throne, who is the choir director who put this all together. And then there's a shot from the concert. So on the other part of the concert, I played alto sax and soprano. You see me right here in the corner with a trumpet player, a really great trumpet player, a really great trombone player, and a jazz rhythm section. And then we had this amazing gospel soloist, Jillian Harrison Jones. There's her Instagram in there in the post there. It was just all around super fantastic. It was a really great experience. And it was a little, what's the word? Nerve-wracking, because the music was not easy. I had to practice and really make sure I had my music ready. And then, but a little bit of nerves at a concert is a good thing, because you're on the top of your game. So let's go to some questions, everybody. Let me know what's been going on in your musical world the past couple of weeks. We're going to say hello to some people. So George Jacob, is that George Jacob or George Iacob? Looks like an I. But anyway, hi George, good to see you here. We also have Mia. Mia is a good friend of ours who's here just about every week. Hi Mia, how are you? Let me know any comments or requests you may have or questions. Leonardo is a good friend of ours, is here again. Hello Leonardo. And Teresa is in the chat helping us out with moderating the chat. And our friend Jacqueline is here. Happy Sunday from Philadelphia. Jacqueline lives in Philadelphia. I live in what you might call the suburbs of Philadelphia, about 30 minutes away from Philadelphia. Ramnath is here. Let's see. Ramnath says good morning, and I think we learned a little bit more about Ramnath here. Is Indian from India. And Ramnath, are you in India now, or are you in somewhere else? And Ramnath wants to learn alto saxophone Western notation. Okay. So I can give, if you just want a basic introduction to reading notes of Western notation, I can do that. Let's say hello to a few more people, and then I will dive into some questions. So Leonardo is requesting Dream On by Aerosmith. It's funny, Leonardo, that you made that request, because it's a coincidence. I was just listening to the radio the other day, and that song came on, Dream On by Aerosmith. Really cool song. David is watching from Anchorage. That's fantastic. Hello, David. And I'm going to get to David's question here, and then I'm going to go back to little introduction to reading music. So David says, I have an older clarinet that I've had since high school. Haven't touched it since then. The cork needs to be replaced, and I want to learn again. Yeah. How would I replace the cork and get reeds? So I would say, David, as far as getting a clarinet that's been sitting for that amount of time, let me show you. Here's a clarinet. So there is cork on a clarinet, obviously, this bit here that where the joints of the clarinet connect. There's a cork on the mouthpiece. So this will certainly break down and need to be replaced. This is fairly inexpensive to get replaced because you go to a music store or a music technician and they cut out the cork and they clean off the old cork and they use like some sort of cement and they make it nice and smooth and make it a seamless connection. It's possible to replace these corks yourself, but it does take skill to get it to be really smooth and a good, seal that will stay. But I'll also say that probably over that time of your clarinet sitting, all of these little pads. So, if we took every key off of a clarinet, we would see these open holes, these drilled holes here that your fingers cover. But you would also see all of these holes here. There'd be holes all over the clarinet. And so on each key has a pad, a little, felt type of material. On some instruments, it's leather. Anyway, those need to be airtight against the hole, or else your clarinet won't work. So if you go to play a clarinet, like and it sounds something like this, that probably means either your hand is accidentally hitting a key it's not supposed to hit, or there's something wrong with your clarinet where there's air leaking out. So anyway, I'm going on and on. You will probably need to have a technician go over your whole clarinet and check it for leaks. And I will say sometimes when a clarinet is that old, they may say to you it needs an entire repad, in which case it gets very expensive. So when you look into that with a professional repair person, get a quote on how much it will cost, and then you have to kind of look at how much it costs to get it playable versus what it costs to maybe get another clarinet. But that's just some advice. So take it to a music store with a repair technician, and they can help you out with that, give you a quote. Okay, so let's go to, I want to do a little bit of, if Ramnath is still here, little introduction to reading notation. So let's go here. A lot of great comments, everybody. Thank you for that. Music staff. Let's see. Here we go. So I'm just going to go here. So we know that we read notes, everybody, on a music staff. Lines. We have 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we say 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We always count from the bottom. So line 1 is the bottom line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In between are the spaces. So, and they also go from bottom to top. So this down here would be space 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, depending on the instrument you're playing, there's different clefs that we read. So if you play the saxophone, Ramnath, or other instruments, clarinet, guitar, flute, violin, a lot of instruments, trumpet, they read treble clef or G clef. And what this indicates is that some people call it's a treble clef. Some people call it the G clef because this little curly Q here goes around this line here, which is the G line. Why? And I guess it kind of looks like a cursive G, like a fancy G. But this little curly Q goes around the G line. So anyway, we memorize our lines. We start down here, E, G, B, D, F. And I'm going to come back to here, and I like to use my hand staff. I forget who I learned this from, but it's great. Your hand has 5 fingers. So this could be the bottom line, next line, next line, next line, top line. Your thumb's a little short compared to your other fingers, but it gets the idea across. So the important thing to remember is that notes, if you can memorize that this bottom line is E, the line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, that goes in the musical alphabet order. So if you just say your alphabet, E, F, G, here's the thing though, in the musical alphabet at G, we don't have anything higher than that in letters. We start over again, A, B, C, D, E, F. So again from the bottom, E, F, G, start over again, A, B, C, D, E, F. And that's how we end up with these little phrases that help us remember E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. Every good burger deserves fries. Okay? And then in the space, they say face in the space, right? Because this is F, A, C, E. So there's a little introduction to reading notes. It's different for bass clef. So you have to get a sort of memorize a different starting point. But it all still works with your lines and your spaces going up and down the alphabet. Let's go to say hello to some people. Zavolian is here, another friend of ours. Elvis, do any of my students play Superbone? No. You know what? I kind of know what a Superbone is. I know that Maynard Ferguson played it on one of his albums. Not 100% sure I know what a Superbone is. Is it just a valve trombone? I don't know. But no, none of my students play Superbone. I'd have to Google that to really figure out what that is. I do teach percussion. I don't have a lot of percussion. I mean, I teach percussion in that I'm a band director, so I teach percussion students. Percussion is not my area of top expertise, but I do have a handful of percussion videos on my channel. But yeah, I could maybe answer some questions about percussion, but I teach all of the band instruments. So yes, I do teach percussion. Let's do a song. Let's see here and ask some more questions, everybody. I wonder if I can find Dream On. Dream On. The first request of the day. So, Dream On sheet music. Let's see if I find it. Dream On. Let's see. Dream On. Oh, no. Dream On Aerosmith sheet music. So I found some for piano. Here we go. This is what I found. Get the sound going. I have to turn off my other. Still have my jazz going. Okay. Now, here's what I found. It's the actual music. Is this the actual music with the singer? Every time. Oh no, it's just the backing. That's cool. All right, let's try this because it's just the backing track, which is, it sounds just like the record. So that's fun. Let's give this a try on flute. So since the request was on flute, I'm looking up sheet music in the key of C, C instruments, because flute doesn't have to transpose. Okay. I'm going to leave out, I'm going to like skip this intro part. Be-da-dee-da. I'll just come in when the singing would come in. So let's get it going. Check, check, check. Check, check. Make sure I'm in tune. Kind of a long intro. Not sure how much of this I'll play, but let's see how it goes. This is fun. I'll play a little bit more. Second verse. Song goes on for a while. It's a fun song. I know I didn't really even get to the Dream On part, but okay. Let's go to some more questions and maybe some more requests. Let's see here. How was the balance there? Was the backing track too loud or not loud enough? Okay, let's see. Okay, more requests, more requests. Elvis Makaza. Can you play the F sharp scale on clarinet? Sure. Is this something that you just are trying to practice, or do you need to learn this for, I don't know if you're in school. Anyway. Okay, so F sharp major. So first thing we have to know is how many, well, I'm going to use my little visual aids here. We have to know how many sharps or flats are in the scale. Now, F sharp is one of the harder ones. It's got a lot of sharps. But I don't know if I ever told y'all the trick for remembering sharps and flats. And that is, let me go here. So here is F major. I should zoom in. All right, see, that's F major. It's one flat. F major has one flat, B flat. Now the rule is, when you add up your sharps and flats in two key, if you have two keys that share the same letter, so we have F and F sharp. If you count up their sharps and flats in the respective keys, they always add up to 7. Show you what I mean. So F major has one flat, it's B flat. F sharp major has 6 sharps. 6 sharps in F sharp major, 1 flat in F major. So 6 sharps plus 1 flat equals the number 7. It's just kind of a weird, cool shortcut fact about learning your key signatures. So like if you can remember, oh, F major has 1 flat, then I can remember that F sharp must have 6 sharps. So that means every note in your scale is going to be sharp except for 1, because there's 7 notes in a scale. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Every major scale has to have every letter in it. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. And then we just need to figure out which ones are sharp. They're all sharp except for B. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. Kind of weird. So real quick, F sharp. I'm going to move the mic back here. F sharp. Then G sharp. Little side key here. A sharp is the same as B flat. So you can play, the primary way to play B flat is this, A key and the back key. I like the way this A sharp sounds better. This B flat, you play A and you play this top, second from the top trill key. So that's my favorite way to play B flat slash A sharp. So F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, regular B. Oh, we have to play B this way. It's a whole nother story because there's a pinky rule on the clarinet that you're not supposed to use the same pinky twice in a row. So we're going to play B here, and then we're going to play C sharp here. That way we can play D sharp here. Then E sharp, which is the same note as F, and then F sharp. F sharp is like kind of a complicated one to explain on clarinet, but that's what it is. I'll play it for you. I'll say each note. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B with the right hand pinky, C sharp with the left hand pinky, D sharp with the right hand pinky. There's only one way to play it. And then E sharp, F sharp. Got to warm up my reed. There's your F sharp major scale. Maybe more explanation than you were looking for, but hopefully that was helpful. All right, let's see here. A lot of requests, so I'm going to do a few more questions here. Shane is here. Hi, Shane. How are you? I just did the F sharp scale. Okay, Leonardo, do some students play bassoon in a concert? Yes. Bassoon is one of those instruments that's a really beautiful sounding instrument, and it's very important to a lot of pieces of music, both in an orchestra and in a concert band or a wind ensemble. typically not found in marching bands. You typically don't march with double reed instruments like bassoon and oboe. But the thing about bassoons is they're very expensive, and they're also, by nature of them being so expensive and also kind of a little bit complicated to play. We really need to. I know in my school district, we really need to work hard to recruit more students to play bassoon, because they're an important part of the band, and yet you don't really find a lot of kids playing them. I think the main reason is because they're so expensive, and probably the other reason is you don't see bassoons like playing solos in a band concert or on TV or on YouTube videos. Usually it's like the instruments that people see are like the drums. There's a lot of people playing like saxophone or trumpet or even trombone or violin. Bassoon is one of sort of like those not quite as famous instruments, but they're so important. All right, BB, I'm gonna go back to requests after I answer a few more questions. BB, should I clean my clarinet after every practice and dismantle every time, even if I practice it every day? I would say, so full disclosure for me, because I play my instruments every day, I do not put them away every day. I leave them on my stand. But I definitely recommend when you finish playing your clarinet, you pop off definitely take the reed off and dry it off, because that can grow kinds of, moldy stuff, so take off your reed, dry the reed off, wipe down the mouthpiece. If you have, depending on the size of your, what's it called? A swab with, it's like the cloth thing with the stringy thing on it. Swab your mouthpiece out and run the swab through your entire clarinet a few times, but you don't really have to take it apart every day. If you're get yourself like a nice clarinet stand. If you have a little spot in your house where you practice, because that's what I do. You don't have to take it apart every day, but definitely I would recommend swabbing it every day. So Elvis, yeah, I would say woodwind players should swab out their instrument every time they play. Okay, Leonardo likes that song, Dream On. Glad I could play it for you. Elvis, I teach in Glen Mills, Pennsylvania, which it's a school district called Garnet Valley. I taught there for a long time. I don't know if anyone out there knows how many years I've been teaching, but it's a lot. I taught beginner band, elementary 5th and 6th grade band for a long time, and then about 8 years ago I switched up to the high school band. So I've been teaching elementary. I've also taught middle school jazz band for many years. So all right. Usually, Leonardo, usually F sharp is the same as E major on clarinet. F sharp major on clarinet is the same as E major on piano. It's the same sound. It's not the same key signature. It's not the same notes. Like, if I understand what you're saying here, I think you're on the right track, but I wouldn't put it that way. An E major scale, because the clarinet is a transposing instrument, what that means is the notes that, okay, I'll put it this way. When I play an F sharp, me as a clarinet player, when I play what in my mind is a clarinet F sharp right here, on a piano, that's the note E. So if a piano plays an E major scale, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. If I want to play along on clarinet, I need to play my F sharp scale. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. So a clarinet F sharp is a piano E. All right? That's the idea of transposing. Let's answer one more question, and then I'll do another request. Lunchbox. How often should you bring your instrument in for maintenance and cleaning? I would say for maintenance and cleaning, once a year, unless as needed. If something goes wrong with your instrument, obviously you bring it in for repair if something goes wrong with it. I'd say once a year is enough for sure. Other than that, woodwind players should be running swab through their instrument every time they play it. Brass players, you can give your brass instrument a bath, and you can look up on YouTube tutorials on how to do that. You can actually, you should look at a tutorial and make sure you're doing it the right way. How often should you do that? Maybe every 3 months, 6 months. Give your instrument a bath. I'd have to ask a brass expert what they think of that. That sounds about right to me. But there's a way to do it. There's a proper way to do it. You take out all the parts of your trumpet and you put them out on a towel and you run it. You get a snake. There's these long, flexible tubes with like kind of bristly things on the end, and you run the snake through and you clean out your instrument. Woodwind players, you would never give your instrument a bath. You'd never submerge a clarinet or a sax or an oboe or a flute or a bassoon or did I cover them all? I think so. You would never submerge them in water. Okay? What do they specifically do? Oh, when they clean it? So when you bring in your instrument, by the way, I'm happy to see, I see a lot of new faces here, or new names in the chat. So welcome everybody who is new, maybe hasn't been here before. So it's nice to see. Nice to see old friends and nice to see new people here. What they do when you bring your instrument in for cleaning is, I know brass, they have they'll actually have a tub. They'll put it in, and they have some special cleaning agents that they use. They'll take it all apart. I know some places have these fancy ultrasonic cleaners, machines. I don't exactly know how they work. Sonic is sound waves. Something to do with, ultra would be high frequency, right? High frequency sound waves that do something to clean the instrument and get rid of buildup. So, let's see. Let's do a song, okay? And Fang, I see your question about alto sax. I'm going to answer that, okay? But I'm going to go get to another request. So Elvis has been asking for Careless Whisper on clarinet. I'm just going to do this one with no backing track. This is a fun one. I'll put a little, nice little echo on my clarinet. I can press this button and I can sound like I'm playing in a big hall or a cathedral because of the reverb. Okay, so let's play Careless Whisper. You know what? I'm going to get my clarinet reed a little bit more warmed up, ready to go. I'm not getting such a great sound. All right, Careless Whisper on clarinet. Here we go. Forgot my reverb. Here we go. Second guessed my notes there for a second, had a little blip, but that's basically Careless Whisper on clarinet. I probably have told you all this story before, but whenever I talk to my students about talk to my students about this thing called perfect pitch or absolute pitch, which some people are born with. By the way, does anyone watching right now have perfect pitch or absolute pitch? What that means is it's really a mysterious skill that you're just pretty much born with. It's as far as I know, it's impossible to really to teach yourself how to have perfect pitch. You can get better at it. You can get close, but a true perfect pitch is kind of this thing where your brain works. You hear a note and you automatically know what it is, like without even thinking. That's something you have to be born with. But you can do something called pitch memory. By playing your instrument a lot, singing a lot, particular songs. If you have a song that you've sung or played many, 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 many times, and you just get this, your brain just kind of can recall what it feels like, what it sounds like to play that note. If you just imagine yourself playing a song you've played thousands of times, and then you go test yourself and see if you can sing it exactly on the right key. And the way I can always do that is I think of playing the first note of Careless Whisper on any instrument, but I imagine myself playing alto sax. I just feel what it feels like to play that high C sharp on alto sax, and I can, without fail, I never miss it. I can always pick out, that's my high falsetto. I can always hear that note, which is on sax, it's a high C sharp. That is a concert E on the piano. So if I ever need to, for whatever reason, pick a concert E out of the air without hearing anything, I can always just imagine myself playing the beginning of Careless Whisper. Let's go to this question back here that I said I would get back to. Fang's question. Is there a way to get notes above the staff to sound right? Okay. So, you ready? I give this same sort of pep talk explanation to my students all the time, because this is a very common thing that students need to be reminded of, and that is the saxophone embouchure. Okay, so we'll start there real quick. Say ew, I say ew, and what that does is it kind of firms up your corners against your teeth. Ew. So firm, firm. And then we're going to make our lips like an O. So O, but also firm in the corners. Okay? What that does is it makes your bottom lip, if you look at your bottom lip in a mirror, it should have vertical lines in it, like you were closing up a drawstring bag. Like you pull the rope and the drawstring bag closes at the top. That's what your bottom lip should look like. Your top lip is also in that O shape, but your top lip doesn't have to be as tense. It's the bottom lip should be firm, and the bottom lip should be flexed. Like I describe it like a really firm mattress. So you've got your teeth, you have your O bottom lip, which is flexed like a firm mattress. And that firm mattress is going to stay firm. So when you put the mouthpiece in and you put the reed in your mouth, your bottom lip can't get squishy and let the reed squish your lip down into your teeth. Your bottom lip has to be, again, like a firm mattress kind of pushing up against your teeth. O, bottom lip is under the reed, but it's firm in an O shape. My lips are like an O forming a seal around the mouthpiece. I'm explaining all of this because the main reason people have trouble with the high notes in the alto sax is because probably, I'm guessing, your embouchure is more like a squishy M. You're doing more of a horizontal lips. And what that does, if you're like an M, you're kind of like smushing the reed, and the reed can't vibrate the way it wants to. Okay, let me show you real quick. So here's there we go. There's the side view. Oh, maybe I can go over top. Boom. Okay, look at this. So if your lip is on the bottom like this, flat, the reed is squished, and it can't really vibrate the way it wants to. Instead, you want to make like an O, like that. So the bottom of the reed is not getting smushed. The sides of the reed are getting controlled by the sides of your lips. Maybe I'm talking too much. But, O. Now what that's going to help with is when you go into the high range, the saxophone doesn't squish up. I'll play it the wrong way. You'll hear the difference. I'm going to go smushy lips, M, like this. And you're going to hear it get all tight and smushy at the top. You hear that sound like the air? It sounds all choked off. Oh. The other thing it does is as you go low, the saxophone will work perfectly. There's no problem with low notes jumping in the octave. Check it out. So the main thing is your embouchure is like an O, and it should not change the entire length of your saxophone. You're playing low notes or high notes, this really doesn't change at all. Okay? Cool. I feel very passionate about that. That's why I talked so long about it. That's the secret to making a good sound. Hey, what's up, Hiroy? How are you? I can answer all of your saxophone questions. I'm just kidding. Hiroy is one of the best saxophone players I know, so I don't have much I could teach him. Let's see. Leonardo, what happens if the home keys on the flute is out of position or the sound is not working properly? Okay, so home keys. Home keys is a term that I like to use to describe where your fingers belong on your instrument. So every instrument has a specific place where your fingers have to be for home base. So on the flute, your thumb is always here. Sometimes it goes up here, but your thumb starts always here. On your top hand, your left hand, we never press this key. This is a key we never touch. This is home key for first finger. Skip one, home key, and then your right hand at the bottom is easy. It's just 1, 2, 3, the bottom 3 keys. And then your pinky's in charge of these keys here. So what Leonardo is asking, what happens if your fingers are out of position? That will cause the note not to sound like the right note. So if your note doesn't sound right, if you're a beginner and your note doesn't sound right, definitely want to check your home keys. So that would be my answer to that question, Leonardo, unless I'm misunderstanding your question. All right. So hello to Mocho or Moko. Hello, Jacqueline. Wait, Jacqueline, is that a hand? Do you have a question? Lunchbox. Thanks. Oh, okay. You have been a long-time follower. That's cool. All right. Keep the questions coming, y'all. Let's see. Let's go back to another request. BB says thank you from Ireland. That's cool. I love to hear from different parts of the world that people are watching. Let's go back to another request. Rihanna's Lift Me Up. Okay. Rihanna's Lift Me Up on flute or clarinet. So let me look this one up. Rihanna, Lift Me Up. And I may get lucky and find a sheet music video. Let's see. Look at this. I found sheet music. Karaoke piano tutorial. Let's see this. This might be good. See how this sounds. Okay, so like an introduction. I'll play it on flute, so I don't have to transpose. Okay, we're in 3 sharps. Tune. 3. You know what? I'm not sure I'm getting the melody here. I just see whole notes. I don't know. I'll just play it. I'll just play what I see. You tell me how it sounds. So I told you guys about this before. When I find videos, it's very difficult if you have a video where you can't see the notes that are coming next. It's like switching right at the moment that you need to switch. I'm going to change this up. Oh, it's from Black Panther. That's cool. Let's see. Here's one. All right, let's check this one out. Go. So let me know, Zivolian, if that was the song you were looking for. That's a nice, pretty song. I like that. Cool. Let's see what else we have, folks. How are we doing on time? We are... Oh, boy, we have about 10 minutes left. Great questions. This show is going by very fast. Oh, Jacqueline, you have perfect pitch. Wow. So I'm just curious to hear more about that, Jacqueline. Like, how did you discover that? How did you discover that you have perfect pitch? And do you find that it's helpful when you're playing music? Let's see. Mason. Okay, Mia, I see your request. I think I will do that next. Oh, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Okay. All right, so Mason says, hi, Mr. Selfridge, how are you? Hi, Mason, good to see you. Abracadabra, ooh, by Frank Ticelli on the clarinet one part. Okay, if I can find it, I'll play it. I've explained before that sometimes these band arrangements it's hard to find exactly the part you're looking for online. Let's do, what shall we do? Let's do Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But first I want to answer this question. C, B, can you mount wind instruments on your wall? It can be done. You can buy, like if you go to a music store, they have those racks where they hang the hooks. Might be kind of expensive though. It depends if you can find one. But bottom line, if you can find one, a mounting bracket, make sure whoever installs it for you, or if you do it yourself, that it's very secure, because you don't want your instrument falling on the ground. My instrument stand is on the ground. I can't really pick it up and show you, but they'll have like for saxophone, they'll have like a thing that comes out like this, right? Or like this. And then you just kind of put your sax and it holds it like that. You can do it. I don't know if I recommend it, because if for some reason it like if you put your saxophone or your clarinet down on a instrument stand on the floor, if it falls, it's not a good thing, but it's only falling like this far. If you have your instrument hanging up on a wall and it falls, you're definitely going to have damage. So it might not be the best way to do it. Okay, let's look for Somewhere Over the Rainbow. This is for Heather. Somewhere over the rain. So when I teach my music theory classes, we always use Somewhere Over the Rainbow as a way of remembering how to sing. You guys know what an interval is? Intervals are the different distances between notes. So if we sing each distance in a scale, do, re, that's a major second. Do, mi is a major third. Do, fa, we call a perfect fourth. Do, sol, we call a perfect fifth. Do, la, major sixth. Do, ti, major seventh. And then do, do, we call a perfect octave. And when we're trying to hear these intervals in actual examples in music, Somewhere Over the Rainbow is a great example of that. I'm not sure what key I was singing in. There's C. So C, C, perfect octave. Also the first notes of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Let's try. Flutorials is great. Check it out. Although usually what they have is they have the tutorial at the beginning, so it's slow. So I'm going to skip the tutorial, and I'm going to go right here to the play along. I'm not sure what key we're in. Find out. B flat. I'm going to turn up the track a bit. Here we go. Boy, my flute embouchure was giving me some issues that time through. So whenever I'm switching between like saxophone and clarinet and flute, sometimes this is why it's a good idea to practice your instrument every day and try to get, especially for a doubler. Like I try to be a doubler with flute, clarinet, and sax. You really got to lock in that embouchure, or things just don't work right. The best way to really get good at your tone and your embouchure is to do something called long tones. So, and especially on the flute, work on your octaves. I do need to start practicing my flute more regularly, because we have another fun thing coming up. Is our high school musical Beauty and the Beast is coming up. I'm playing flute and clarinet in the pit, so I got to be on my game. Okay, so we're wrapping up here. David says there's a restaurant that has music instruments mounted on the wall as a design. Yes, very cool. They're probably, if it's a restaurant, they probably permanently mounted those instruments, like with screws and things like that. So Jacqueline, okay, the piano teacher noticed. I asked Jacqueline about perfect pitch. The piano teacher noticed it when you started taking piano lessons. Took organ lessons for 2 years. Okay, not until after I graduated high school. Well, that's cool. So Jacqueline, can you? Does it work? Oh, wow, you played cello for 5 years in high school and couldn't read music. You just picked it all up. That's great. So for you, Jacqueline, does it work both ways? Like if someone plays a random note, you can just match it? Or if someone plays a random note, can you just name it? Or if someone says, play me a C sharp or sing me a C sharp, you can just sing it? Cool. I wish I had that skill, but I don't. All right, so everyone. Oh, we have 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes left. So the Wellerman on the flute. Wellerman. Wellerman sheet music. Wellerman sea shanty. CB. How can I play high notes easily? What instrument, CB, are you asking about? And I'll answer your question. But let's look at this sheet music for the Wellerman. Here we go. I like this website. I just kind of happened upon it just today. The last one I just did, or when I did the Rihanna song, it's this uncomplicated sheet music website or channel. This is good. I like this. All right, let's try it. Oh, Honey Dreams is here. Hello. All right, here we go. I'm not sure I 100% agree with all those notes. Like when I hear the song in my head, I don't hear some of those notes that tutorial has don't sound like quite right to me, but I could be wrong. Okay. CB, high notes. Okay. So we want to say, Mason, right. All right, let me see if I can find Abracadabra. And CB's questions about the flute. So, all right, Abracadabra. Now, Mason, are you asking because you need some help with how the part goes? I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm going to try to find it, but these things are harder to find online. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe here. Let's see. Yeah, these are kind of difficult to find because because they're copyright protected. All right, so here's the score. I might be able to zoom in and look at the clarinet part. Let's see. This doesn't look. This looks like somebody put it in MuseScore. I can't even tell which part is the clarinet part. I think it's. Yeah, that's like somebody redid it on like MuseScore. So Mason, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that for you today because you can't find just the clarinet one part. I can't just Google and find the clarinet one part, unfortunately. Let's see. All right, so I want to answer CB's question. How can I play high notes easily? Okay, so this is the little thing I was just talking about with the flute. I was playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow on flute, and like my embouchure was just like not working for me at that moment. So, but to work on your high notes on the flute, here's what I learned, and it works for me. I think it works really well. So you have your basic note. Let's take an A. I'm not sure what you mean by high notes. Do you mean like the octave, like above the staff, or do you mean like really high, like E, F, G, way up there, or A? But anyway, here's an A in the staff. So there's two things that happen when you are going to go from your A in the staff to your A above the staff. Your aperture, which is the opening that the air is coming out from your lips, the aperture, think of like a camera lens, right? You want to slightly focus the camera lens so your aperture gets a little smaller. So low note, higher note, your lips are closer together. The airstream is more sort of faster moving, right? It's just the way it is. If you close off the hole a little bit, that air is going to have more force to it. The other thing is the tip of your lips, where the air is coming out, the aperture, you want to push your lips like a millimeter, little bit, maybe not even a millimeter, maybe more, but a little bit forward, like you're moving your lips towards your music stand, not your face, just your lips. So like you're saying ooh a little bit. And what that does is it moves your airstream just ever so slightly closer to the outer edge of the embouchure hole, and that will jump your note an octave. Watch. You want to try to achieve that without just blowing harder. A lot of times younger players, to get the high notes, they'll just kind of go. They really blow harder to get the note. You can sort of fake the note, but you have no control over it. You make the aperture smaller, and you push your lips out a little bit so your airstream is closer to this outer edge. Now, work on your octaves, right? Just on all your notes. And another great thing to practice is to push your lips and your aperture even further, and you get something called an overtone. Check it out. Hear that overtone? Those small, tiny muscle movements to get the exact note that you want are going to be super helpful for you to practice. And it's something I could really would benefit me to keep working on too. And that helps you get a better tone no matter where you are on your flute, what notes you're on. So let's see. We're going to be wrapping up, everybody. Oh, that's cool. Jacqueline says, if I hear a song, I just know. That's very cool. A song by Tchaikovsky. Okay, so Isa or Isa, since you just came on the stream, and I feel bad that we are ending the stream. A song by Tchaikovsky. What instrument would you like me to play? You could play clarinet. Let's see. What's a good one for Tchaikovsky? Let's see. I'm going to go Tchaikovsky clarinet sheet music. Try to find something that's not too hard because I got to sight read this. Ooh, Swan Lake. Swan Lake. Let's see this. Is this a good accompaniment? Let's hear it. Oh yeah, this is the Tchaikovsky piece that kind of sounds like Harry Potter. You know, great John Williams. Oh, there's the other big news. I'm going to see the Philadelphia Orchestra this Tuesday, and John Williams is going to be there. I'm so excited. Once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay, Swan Lake. I'm going to play this play along here, but it sounds like Harry Potter, which John Williams was the composer. And I'm sure John Williams would tell you that a lot of his music is inspired by the great composers. Here we go. Echo, echo. I'll take this off the screen. Skip the 10 or 14 measures of rest because we are just about out of time. Put my clarinet over here. You guys know Inspector Gadget? I was just playing Inspector Gadget for my students this week. Long story. Oh, we're not such a long story. We're playing this piece called Gadget by Randall Standridge. So we were talking about Inspector Gadget in band class this week. All right. You're welcome for doing your request. Tchaikovsky. Okay. Yeah, I did the, whatever that piece was called, Swan Lake. Awesome. Okay, Leonardo, good. You're practicing both instruments. David. Okay, good to see you there, David. Thank you. Don't be afraid to comment. If you have any questions or comments, be a part of the conversation. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Leonardo, you're welcome. So any last comments, please feel free to pop them in the chat. We are wrapping up. When I do finish the stream, you're going to see this screen. And that is how you can reach out to me on email, and you can follow me on Instagram and see the things that I'm doing. And so I will see you again soon, everybody. We're on Sundays, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But thank you all so much for being here. Please say thank you to Teresa, who is our moderator in the chat, always helping us out. And until next time, everybody, make sure you practice a whole lot and come back with lots of questions and things for us to do. Okay? So have a great week, everybody, and don't forget to practice. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.